too obvious, okay, I like your confidence. Oh, that's what could come is okay, like Kalani's. Got you like Kalani's, okay, get ready to party.
have a question.
You can ask me anything.
Where did we come from? Do I matter? Why can't I see God? Are we being punished?
What if there isn't anything else?
You'll be the light in the dark. This is the chance. Make your mark. Maybe that you know. Just stop what you glow. But you don't be afraid. Yeah, you got that spark. Yeah, you got that spark.
This backlit keyboard, so basically just gonna stay as.
Bought the cheapest new gen gaming laptop off Walmart for under $600 that actually gets insane FPS.
Inside of this box is the best deal you guys can get on a budget gaming laptop that is also like a new gen gaming laptop, since the specs are definitely very, very good. The specs aren't like super outdated with like an RTX 3050 or anything like that usually a cheaper gaming laptop would have. And this laptop actually came from Walmart. So if you guys didn't know, Walmart actually sells a ton of gaming laptops for like really cheap prices all the time. With this gaming laptop only costing $589 in brand new condition, that is definitely very cheap for a gaming laptop. And the laptop is a Acer Nitro line gaming laptop, so you guys know the performance coming from this thing is going to be very, very good, especially for Fortnite. We're going to be getting a ton of FPS. I mean, my first ever gaming laptop was also an Acer Nitro gaming laptop, so the Nitro series is a perfect mix of a budget gaming laptop while still being a very premium laptop. But taking a look inside, very simple packaging design. We basically just have the power cables over here. It also comes with like this Nitro keychain, which definitely looks really cool. But the specific model of this Nitro gaming laptop is the Acer Nitro V15. And here it is. We have the laptop right over here. This thing definitely feels very, very lightweight. And it's definitely not like a huge gaming laptop. You could bring this with you literally anywhere. It has like a really sleek design. So honestly, it doesn't even give off like gaming laptop vibes too much. But for $589, you guys will know why this laptop is just such a good deal for a new gen gaming laptop. But taking a look at the design of this laptop, you guys can see the screen actually goes into a much further angle now. I noticed with like a previous older model of the Nitro V, I'm pretty sure the screen doesn't go all the way down like that. So I guess that's like an improvement with the newer model. And then you guys can also see this is a 165 hertz refresh rate screen. So usually with cheaper gaming laptops, they actually only give you like a 60 hertz screen or a 120 hertz refresh rate screen. But even though this thing is insanely cheap, we're still getting a very high refresh rate screen, which is 1080p still, which honestly doesn't matter too much. But if you guys take a look at the specs inside of this Nitro V15 laptop for $589, you guys will notice why it's such a good deal. With the graphics card inside this laptop being an RTX 5050. So we do have an RTX 50 series graphics card inside of here. A much more newer graphics card inside of such a cheap laptop is just amazing. I mean, even though this laptop is really cheap, we are able to take advantage of NVIDIA's DLSS 4 since we do have the RTX 5050. The CPU, we do have an i5-13428. So a pretty solid CPU to pair with the 5050. I'm pretty sure this laptop is going to exceed the refresh rate we need. So we're going to probably get more than 165 FPS, which I mean, definitely really good. Not to mention with these Nitro V15 laptops, I've actually heard that the cooling is so much better now. Because back then when I played on the Acer Nitro 5, fans and the cooling were just insanely bad. Laptop would overheat very, very easily, which I mean, a gaming laptop still will overheat a lot easier compared to like a gaming PC. But this Acer Nitro V15 does have a dual fan with quad intake fans and quad exhaust fans. So, I mean, the cooling on this thing is probably going to be very good. But let's turn this thing on and see if the keyboard has any RGB backlit. Okay, this thing got no power. Hold on. All right, let's go ahead, plug this thing in and turn this thing on. Bro, what is going on? Did we get scammed by Walmart, guys? So you guys can see from this front area has a really cool design with the Nitro logo as well as like these line design type of things. Boom. There we go. It actually has like this orange backlit RGB. I'm not sure if you guys can actually change it to rainbow. I'm gonna see, but the Nitro V15 line always just has like orange backlit, and that's basically it. And it's like pretty hard to see as well. You guys have to like look at it from a certain angle. But let me go ahead and set this thing up and see if $589 for a cheap gaming laptop is just worth it or not. Okay, so now I got this Acer Nitro V15 gaming laptop all set up, and the Acer Nitro V15 line actually has NitroSense, which is basically the laptop software. You guys can go ahead and just press a button and it basically just loads it up. And then inside of here, you guys can see like your GPU temperatures, your CPU temperatures. Let me go ahead and set the mode of the fan to performance, which is basically intended for gaming. So this will also allow us to get the highest FPS possible from this gaming laptop. And then also taking a look at the software, there's nothing where we can go ahead and change the RGB of this backlit keyboard. So basically just gonna stay as the orange. But yeah, you guys can see the GPU temperatures as well as the CPU temperatures. With the RTX 5050, we're running about 45 degrees Celsius. And then with the i5 13428, running at 53 degrees Celsius. Not too bad. Like the laptop isn't overheating or anything so far. Probably just gonna go up higher a little bit when we actually start gaming on here, since this is still a gaming laptop. Okay, so now I got Fortnite loaded up on this cheap gaming laptop. And right off the bat, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but fans of this laptop are definitely very, very loud. I'm not sure if it's because I set it to the performance mode on NitroSense, but if you guys take a look at the max FPS this $500 gaming laptop can get, definitely really, really good for its price. We're running about 260 to 270 FPS, and it's definitely pretty consistent above 240 FPS. So like I said, we are running above the refresh rate of 165 Hertz. The fans of this laptop are definitely very loud. So I guess the Nitro series is just known for being very loud with its fans. Literally, even back then when I played on the Acer Nitro 5, like the fans of the laptop were extremely loud. Regardless, this laptop is really cheap, with us still running a consistent 180 to 200 FPS right now. So far in creative, we're running above the refresh rate still. Definitely pretty hard to play on this laptop's keyboard, I gotta say that. And now taking a look at the max FPS we're getting in an actual game, the FPS is actually significantly less. We're only running about 120 to 130 FPS, which is definitely very surprising since this laptop does have an RTX 5050. In an actual game so far, the FPS is pretty disappointing. I thought the specs were good enough to at least give us a consistent 165 FPS or so. But now that we are landed in, we're still running about 130 FPS. The FPS is lower than the refresh rate, so I am feeling like the game is just like very, very weird. With us even going down to like 60 FPS. What is going on, bro? This is an RTX 5050 laptop. I don't know how it's performing like this bad. I'm not sure what's going on. Wait, there's someone right here. What the? Okay. Fan noise also went down a little bit from this laptop. Not sure what happened, but it is still pretty loud. It's just not as loud as before. What the? Okay, I don't know what the heck this guy's doing. This laptop is running only about like 100 FPS. This is actually crazy considering the specs aren't even like the worst. Like $500, the specs on paper actually look really good. I'm not sure why the performance coming from this laptop right now is barely even getting 100 FPS. That is actually very, very surprising. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 200. No, the frames are dropping. We're running about 120 FPS right now. Hell no. Try to take that. You're not taking it.
Get Just Games, the ultimate gaming companion. Just play the games you already play and earn coins for your time. Exchange them for all kinds of vouchers and even direct PayPal cash.
No way. I'm running like 100 FPS. I literally cannot do anything. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh, what is going on? The frames are like really, really inconsistent. Like actually crazy. Sometimes dropping to like 70 FPS. I'm not even joking. That is just wild. I don't know what's going on. 200. Oh. 200, there we go. There's someone right here. Is there? Yeah. 10. Crack. 200. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, yo, the frames are incredibly inconsistent. Literally right after I shot that guy, my frames started dropping. That is actually crazy. But regardless, this is literally like the cheapest gaming laptop I could find. So I guess that makes sense why it's really like not that great, but it does an RTX 5050, which isn't that bad. I guess the CPU is just like not the best. What is this guy doing? I can't build. What, bro, I can't build. What the heck? What is this guy doing? Hold on. Let him cook. Bro, is this guy on simple edit? What is actually going on? I didn't expect him to do that. 30? I'm not taking that. No way. Bro, the frame drops are so bad where literally my aim couldn't even line up. That is actually like ridiculous. I don't know what the frames are dropping down to. Like that is actually crazy. It's shooting by itself. Oh my gosh, hold on. What is that? 200? What the? There's a freak. Where did this guy come from? I'm not even joking. Where did this guy come from? Oh, that's crazy. Like, what? I didn't hear that guy. All right, 7 people left. This is literally like the only time we're running about like 150 FPS. I'm pretty sure it's still not gonna be that consistent once we get into like a fight or something. This thing's gonna drop down to like what, 70 FPS? Like this is a very cheap gaming laptop, but the FPS is just super inconsistent. It's not even like dropping down to like 100 FPS. This thing drops down to like 70 FPS. Bro, what is that? What the heck is that? Oh, that would've been cool. That would have definitely been cool, bro. Ready? Oh. $200. There we go. No. No, no, no. Peek your head out. Peek it out. Ready? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Free height. I definitely have the least amount of mats out of all these guys. $200. $30. $200. Let's freaking go, bro. Even with this super cheap gaming laptop, managed to clutch it through like 70 FPS. Bro, the frame drops on this thing are actually really bad. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing that's saving this laptop is it being so cheap. Let's go, bro. GG's.